Yo, what's popping? It's your boy Enigma September. This is the Enigma Sept Hour. But yo, before we get into the recording, again, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Also, too, before I get into the recording of the podcast, also make sure to check out my boy Big Low Hip Hop, my man Big Low over in Big Low Hip Hop TV, and my man Backpack Beats at what is it? Backpack? Backpack Beats. Backpack Beats TV. But yo, go check my boys out, man. And but again, hit that subscribe button, hit that share button, let me know what you think. And we're finna get into the recording. So wait for it. Wait for it. Boom, 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 and we back. This is your boy Enigma September. This is the Enigma Sept Hour. What you just heard, my man Chess Wesley with God Made You. Bigger to my boy doing things in Florida. Man, Chess used to be Stess right hand man, bro, and vice versa. Like, anytime you saw Chess, you saw Stess. Anytime you saw Stess, you saw Chess. So big up to my bro. Still doing this thing, man. Respect. So I had to show love. I think he got a new project that he's working on. I know he got another single, but maybe, just maybe, we can get him on the pod and see what else he got going on. So, Chess, if you listening, get at your boy. Get at yo boy. Get at your boy. But anyway, let me introduce the podcast, man. This is episode 103 of Freedom Train Presents the Enigma Sept Hour. I am, of course, your host, Enigma September. Big up to the Freedom Train crew, Joe, Pat, Queen Shelby, Queen Candace, and everybody else doing their thing over at Freedom Train Radio. Speaking of Freedom Train Radio, it is definitely popping. My man Pat, I guess he got tired of me spitting on the mic whenever I said his name. So bro came through with the mic holder and then the popping net. So yeah, man. Hopefully y'all shouldn't hear them old me holding the mic, all of that noise. Yeah. It's a wrap until next week. Until, oh no, I gotta be careful. I gotta stop announcing guests clearly. But yeah, man. So big up to Pat, Freedom Train Radio, blessing your boy with the like I said, the mic stand. So I'm hands free now. I can do all kind of things. Ooh, spice. Is that spicy? I don't know. Who knows? I got time to burn. Of course, you guys know low key been a slow week in music. I guess going into August. And it's August. It is August. It is the month of entanglements. Yeah. It's just not. Thank you for the delay. That was great. Or maybe I could just go back and edit that. I don't know. I can probably should go back and edit it. But no, anyway, it is August, the 8th month. We got what? A third left? A third of the year left. We are in the final third of the year. So time to plan for 2021 because 2020 is clearly a wrap and has been horrible. And speaking of 2020 being horrible, I guess we can go into the first piece of news. I'm going to go ahead and, for those in podcast land, screen share. Like I ain't asked for all that. I'm going to screen share this thing so y'all can see what's popping in these streets. Well, they really ain't popping. This ain't nothing nice. It seems like every day, every podcast, man, it's somebody. It is somebody. What is going on, man? Okay, let me. Jeez, computers would not take over the world. Let me say that computers would not take over the world because clearly, see, ain't asked for all this. But no, man. Unfortunately, we lost another soldier in the game of hip hop, in the culture of hip hop. Malik B of the Roots Crew, one of the founding fathers of the Roots Crew, passed away this past Wednesday. He was 47 years old, which means he was only 7 to 8 years older than me. The Roots announced Bassett's death in a statement on the Twitter account. And what they said was, clear my throat. We regrettably inform you of the passing of our beloved brother and longtime Roots member, Malik Abdul Bassett. May he be remembered for his devotion to Islam, innovation as one of the most gifted MCs of all time. We ask that you please respect his family in our time of mourning. So, rest in peace to that man and what he helped found or put in the game, in the culture of hip hop. Now, apparently, not having had the chance to review it, but apparently there was some words by, I believe, Jaguar Wright, which I haven't heard that name in a while. But apparently she had some words in regards to, oh, shoot. Yo, I was about to send a direct message. I'm about to slide her DMs. Unintentionally, of course. That would have been horrible. That was like, oh, yo, what you said? What you said about your people? I'm trying to figure out. I don't know if I can find it. I don't know if I can. Oh, nah. No, sir. No, she went in for like an hour about whatever. And I haven't had a chance to review it. So if y'all want to visit Jaguar's Right IG page and see what she had to say in regards to the situation. I believe it had something to do with possibly addiction, drug addiction. They didn't say what my man's passed away of or for or of. And honestly, I didn't have any knowledge in regards to, what he's been up to. Of course, he left the collective in 1999 after they dropped probably their most, it's not important. What's the word? I want to say pinnacle, perimeter. I don't know. Most important album, Things Fall Apart. So, but at the end of the day, may he rest in peace, and may his family find peace in his passing. Next on the docket, we got Rick Ross and 2 Chainz are going to be the next contestants of the Versus that's been taken over. It's probably one of the Doug E. Can you talk, bro? The Versus probably been like one of the silver linings in the crazy year that's been 2020. So shouts out to Timberland and shouts out to Swiss Beats. So they came up with this next pairing, which is 2 Chainz and Rick Ross. And despite the speculation, this is uprock.com. Despite the speculation earlier this week about one possible lineup with the next Versus hits battle, looks like the next contestants were already on board. Today, the Versus social channels confirmed. Next 2 big names will be 2 Chainz and Rick Ross, which will go down Thursday, August 6th at 8 p.m. So, and of course, they signed a deal with Apple. So it's going to be going through Apple, but yet at the same time, it's still supposed to come through Instagram. So you want to follow the Instagram joint and see what's popping with that. And of course, everyone's been speculating with what's gonna happen. Of course, people have said that Rick Ross should win handedly. However, the same was said, of course, if you listen to the last episode about DMX and Snoop. Now, the question is, will Rick Ross be as diplomatic as Snoop Dogg was to DMX? Now, granted, I don't know if Snoop I don't know if 2 Chainz and Rick Ross has had or have any history. Pretty sure they've done songs together, but I'm not sure if they've, if there was any beef with each other, with the crew, or whatever. Of course, 2 Chainz used to be Titty Boy when he was with Player Circle, and down with DTP, which is Ludacris, old label. It's not vintage. What do they call it? I forgot the word. Vanity label. That's what it is. Yeah, essentially. You know how it was in the early 2000s, or in the 2000s. With every artist that got signed had their vanity label. Eminem had Shady Records. 50 with Shady Records had G Unit Records. What did Nelly have? I forgot. Of course, he had the Lunatics. I don't know. Did Nelly even have a label? I'm tripping. Ludacris, of course, had DTP. Who else? Beanie Siegel had State Property. Of course, Jay-Z had Rockefeller. Well, Rockefeller wasn't a vanity label, but I'm going to get into that label. Rockefeller was still along the lines of Cash Money and No Limit and Bad Boy. Who else? I mean, speaking of Cash Money, Wayne with Young Money, who probably having the most successful vanity label of all time. But of course, back in the 2000s, man, anybody, if you sold a good number of records, the record label would give that artist a vanity label, which was really just an incubator for smaller acts to get on, which made sense because most times with record labels, the record labels stood on the backs of their major artists. So those platinum artists, multi-platinum artists, they paid for, the flops. You know what I'm saying? Like Jay-Z and Ja Rule paid, and DMX paid for Joe Budden. Like, yo, E, taking shots? Yes. They're never gonna hear this. It doesn't matter. But no, or not even or whoever, all the acts that were on Def Jam that like fell off. That money was recouped, if you will, through the major artists like the Jay-Z's and the DMX's and the Ja Rules. So are the Eminems, the Nellies. So yeah, they would give them vanity labels. What, Outkast had Aquemini? They had Aquemini Records, and he had Killer Mike and Slim Calhoun. So yeah, like if you went multi-platinum, you got a label. They just use that label to bring in smaller artists. I think what Ludacris' last person he signed was Willie Norpole. Was it Willie Norpole? I could be wrong. If it's not Willie, I'm gonna feel bad. I believe it was Willie Norpole. I'm looking it up, and I am correct. Willie with a Y. That's why he failed. William Adams, the same age as I am. Your name was Willie with a freaking Y. Look like Wile E. Coyote. But But anyway, I'm going down a rabbit hole for no reason. You guys are like, E, what the hell are you talking about? But anyway, yes. So Rick Ross, 2 Chainz, August 6th, 8 p.m. Instagram, Apple Music, which right now, as I record, is apparently there's an argument, or I said not even an argument. Tidal is trending on Twitter right now, and it's based on a tweet when some artist, I don't know who he is, he mentioned that artists get paid more through Tidal, but the problem is that not too many people go through Tidal. And actually, it's kind of funny because I went on my, instead of going to my Twitter page, I went on my Tidal page. About to give y'all some music, but no. And then Tidal, of course, retweeted or responded and said Tidal's royalty rate does not depend on the number of users that use the service, but we do have a strong emphasis on making sure we pay fair royalty shares to our license holders. Okay, so Trizzy was like, yo, for 1,000 streams, Spotify pays $400, Apple pays $600, Tidal pays $2,800. Unfortunately, none of y'all fuck with Tidal. It's either Spotify or Apple Music. LOL, the black business pays more and gets the least amount of love. Now, I ain't gonna front. I got Tidal for that reason. For the culture. Of course, on the Twitterverse, some people tried to mention that, you know, there's a lot of white people that work over there, so it's not necessarily a black business, but it's the black owned. Of course, Jay-Z owns Tidal. So even though you may have majority white people working there, who knows? I don't doubt it, but it's still black owned. That's the key. He holds the key. So that's why I got Tidal. And also too, they pointed that on the Twitter stream. Yo, Tidal like quality, and I'm not. This is not an ad. They not paying me clearly. I'm paying them. I'm tripping. Let me put this money into some stocks, huh? But they the quality been top notch. I peeped that out when I first got Tidal. I guess when it first launched, but the pricing was high. I think it was like 20, and it was eating up my data. And that's when I didn't have unlimited data. So I was like, all right, this cool. I love it, but y'all eating my data up. So I think I went back to Apple Music. But once I switched over and data wasn't the issue, and I think they lowered it to where now I think it's like 11. Bruh, oh yeah. I switched back. And the video content is dope. The music is dope. It's rare that I've had to search for anything. Now, of course, they got all the Jay-Z stuff. And at one point, you couldn't find really Jay-Z anywhere else. Definitely couldn't find, I think, the Blueprint. You couldn't find a Blueprint anywhere. I think that may have been the case. And you had to go to Tidal to get that. But no, Tidal has just been, it's been dope for me. And I mean, when you take on the idea that, you know, most people that they pay more. But it is funny too, because now somebody did make the point, if you if you get 1% of Tidal, you get paid you get paid this amount, but like 0.5% of Spotify we get you whatever because they got a bigger pool. But again, for the culture, like I'm not trying to pay some mofos over there in Switzerland or wherever they started Spotify. So even if you like, man, Jay-Z got money, he rich. For the culture, bro. Support black businesses. And honestly, this is what it come down to. Like somebody was like, I saw one tweet that was just like, well, it's Tidal fault because they haven't been promoting like Apple and Spotify. Maybe because obviously you know about Tidal. You talking about it. Have you switched? Ah, see, like people come with 1,001 excuses, and to me, it seems like with most black businesses, that's what it is. I think I saw somebody on Facebook. They asked like, why do black businesses fail? And for me, it's patience. Like people don't have patience to deal with a lot of the stuff that you have to deal with when it comes down to not just a black, it's an upstart. Most black businesses are business. Just due to the nature of this nation, the American culture, and how we've been set back. So a lot of people, first time business owners, just taking a leap of faith, and can't get the loans that a white person or any non-black person could get, or I can't get the type of loan or that big of a loan, or don't have the credit. There's different, racial or racist structures that make it harder for black businesses, and so they got to make do. And I think a lot of times when we go to these businesses and see that they're trying to make do, we try to judge them on a level where you have other businesses, in particular white-owned businesses, that may have the history or the structure to support them. And so we compare them and we say, oh, this trash. Nah, y'all got to do better. Well, it's like, yo, stay patient. Yeah, they may have bad service, customer service. The place may not be greatly lit. Could be a various of issues, but stay patient. Hopefully they'll learn and be vocal. You know what I'm saying? You got to be an asshole, but go to them and be like, yo, maybe you should try this. Maybe you should try that, whatever. But continue to support. You know what I'm saying? Because you'll go to those white-owned businesses and deal with a lot of crap. Y'all deal with a lot of crap and still vibe because the image or the what's the word? Just the image of it. I mean, case in point, Chick-fil-A. Man, Tallahassee, man, it's crazy. Tallahassee got 2 Chick-fil-A's on one street right next to each other. 2 on Tennessee Street near FSU campus. Not now Chick-fil-A on the south side, though. Just to let y'all know. But people go there, and it's a long line. Granted, despite the long line, this Swift, and I know I've shitted on Chick-fil-A before, but screw it. They low-key racist, high-key homophobic, so I don't care. And I don't eat chicken anymore, so so fuck Chick-fil-A. But what I really see is a lot of people go to Chick-fil-A because of the image. Now, I know I've spoken on this podcast before, but it's just the cheerful. I mean, I've seen videos of, Chick-fil-A employees doing the most to satisfy the whole, it's my pleasure, or whatever the catchphrase is. But bro, them lines be long. The lemonade ain't popping like it did in the 80s and the 90s. I don't know what they did. That's not the same lemonade that I used to love back then. Maybe they got some. Maybe got some. Maybe got rid of some of the racism behind it. But what else? Yeah, man, it's simple. It's a damn chicken and a pickle on some bread. It's not really ain't no more different. Like Popeyes was busting even better, and that's really the Popeyes popularity of the Popeyes chicken sandwich really put that the image on forefront, where you saw people clowning Popeyes because it's quote unquote ghetto. But it's that type of mentality. It's that type of racist, white supremacist mentality that even black people have, or have ingrained in them, that really come off in what you do. So you go to a black-owned business, you find things to complain about, but you go to a white-owned business, and they can put you through the ringer, but you'll still go back because of the brand, because how it's been branded. So that's how I see the difference between Tidal and Spotify and Apple, is because of the branding. because you've been essentially been told, Spotify is the #1 musical app. All right, that don't mean nothing. Where's the quality? And Tidal's really bringing it. Anyway, I did not mean to go on that rant, but here we are. Yo, that was crazy. That was not planned at all. And I'm only gonna. Oh man, that was bad because I'm going to contradict myself very shortly. Very, very shortly. What other news we got, man? BT dropped the Chronicles of No Limit this week. It was this past Wednesday, and I think it's like a mini series, so it should drop every Wednesday at 9 p.m. I missed the first episode. Forgive me for that, but yeah. So I've seen a lot of people excited. Me not so much. No, first, don't get it twisted. First of all, I love history. I love rap history, clearly. And I do respect where No Limit lands in hip hop history. So for this to be chronicled, for lack of a better word, this is dope. That is dope. I am interested. I was looking forward to episode on YouTube, so I could watch it. I couldn't find it yet. I don't know if it's just not posted, if they holding back, but yeah. Plus, I mean, I was there low key, not there. I wasn't with No Limit, but I was of age when the rise of No Limit. I remember Mr. Ice Cream Man popping off when I was like in 7th or 8th grade, and then just seeing the rise of No Limit. And in high school, seeing my classmates leave lunch to go to Circuit City or Best Buy to buy the latest No Limit release. I remember that. I remember you used to go to No Limit, go to Circuit City. You used to buy them CDs, spend your whole lunch money. I remember that. But Chocolate Rain, that's what I look like right now. Chocolate Rain. Step it back so I can breathe. Right after Chocolate Rain. You know what? YouTube gonna flag me for that, aren't they? They're gonna flag me for singing Chocolate Rain. Shouts out to 2007. But I don't know. I my admiration of No Limit wasn't that high as like most of my peers. A lot of people love No Limit. Not so much. Me, not so much. I'm sorry. Sorry to hurt your feelings, guys. Just wasn't there. Of course, for the longest time, probably up until Soulja Boy. No, Gucci Mane. I think Gucci Mane. Gucci Mane changed my opinion of the worst rapper in history, which up until Gucci Mane was Silk the Shocker. Sorry, EJ. You know the vibes. Yes, I thought Silk the Shocker was the worst rapper ever. Probably still is, honestly. But like granted, don't get it twisted. There were people in No Limit that I thought were totally dope. Of course, Mystical. Here I go. But I was in love with him, pause. I love his music rather. Than pause because he's a rapist, convicted rapist. But I was in love with his music, before he even signed No Limit. So shouts out to Monka Jr. But Mia X, she held her own. I respected Mia X. I respected Fiend. Fiend was dope. But yeah, for me, No Limit hurt the culture. No Limit hurt the culture. I know that sounds crazy. I know half of y'all, all 20 of y'all listening right now. Sorry, Pat. Pat, like, hold up, man. Don't be telling people our numbers bigger than that. But no, yeah, I believe No Limit hurt the culture. Now, also to be fair, the worst rapper with Silk Shocker was No Limit. My most favorite rapper, I think the best rapper of all time, was Biggie on Bad Boy, and I think Bad Boy hurt the culture as well. So it's not a East Coast bias. I'm from the South. It's not a shot at just No Limit. I think Puffy hurt the culture in that he coined the phrase "player hater," which I think took away from the ideal of being able to critique the music, which is important in a culture, in any culture, to be able to critique the music and not just deal with just garbage and elevate the culture into new heights. Not saying that anything can't be different. You can be different, but not just trash. I think Puffy hurt us in that he used the term player hater when anybody would criticize anything he did or anything his artist did, which may have been legit. And then in turn, we kind of know the limit. It was, well, I've said before, there's a difference between, slightly, but there's a difference between rap business culture and hip hop culture. And of course, rap business culture is definitely a part of hip hop culture. It's not separate, but it's different. And I think too many times we confuse rap business culture for being hip hop culture. So I mentioned that because with No Limit, Master P basically used the Ford model of the assembly line, meaning that, you know, like I said, he used to churn out albums week after week, which was amazing on a business sense. And of course, helped him create a legacy and a foundation for him and his family, which is what he's always wanted to do. And also, too, I mean, that's what people mostly admire him for, that he, you know, you'll see with a tweet, you know, he sold drugs, started a record label, became a rapper, played in the NBA, and whatever. Like, he lived every black man's dream or some crap like that. But when I look at, but what was damaging is in that he used the assembly line method to pump out albums, which generated money. But like I said, a lot of those albums were trash. A lot of those artists were trash, and you just put them on because they were there. You know, even Snoop, when Snoop was there, like, don't nobody really reference Snoop albums there. You know what I mean? A couple of songs, of course, Down for My Niggas, and then even this Lay Low, even with Lay Low, that was with Dre. It wasn't like it was a No Limit. They did their thing. Shout out them boys. I mean, somebody great grandfather now, my boys. It's like B-Town. But yeah, that assembly line, way up putting out music. It cheapened music. It cheapened the artist. And so, and he risked artistic, the artistic side or the side for the money side. And I don't think, granted, people got paid, he got rich, people around him got rich, but I don't think that was worth hurting the music. You know, so there's a lot of people that, you know, they followed that music because it was presented or it's there, and they felt like they could be, you know, just as well or not as good, you know, quality wise, just because, hey, this way, and he was able to put out a CD. Why can't I? Like, he shouldn't have been able to put out a CD, and you shouldn't have been able to see CD either. You know, that's what, like, you know, I mean, speaking like Spotify's and the Tidal, like, so now it's like everyone's able to put music together and at least that's some of just putting out albums to generate money. And the idea that money became more important than that's basically what I'm trying to get to, is that money being more ideal. And what is of course, and they, like Jay-Z, literally, right? I'm not a businessman. I'm a businessman. But this is, we rapping. We're artists. Yes, you got to make money to survive. But what should be most important is the art. That's what's important. Not instead of making money. Or not just making money. You can make money, but, you know, get rich, like super rich, and then brag about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, not to get it confused, like, oh, I want to make money off my art or what I present, but also too, I have integrity have artistic integrity. I want to make sure that I give you the best I can get, that I can give you. And then in turn, yeah, I want to get paid for that. But I'm not going to give you trash and expect to get paid off that either. I'm not gonna put money in the forefront. And I think that was my issue, kind of with the Rise of No Limit. That and Puffy and Bad Boy and Jay-Z and Rockefeller was money became the forefront. You know, I cringe. I know I had rappers on here say it. Probably gonna have rappers say it moving forward, but I cringe when rappers say, "Oh man, I'm trying to get paid. I'm just trying to feed my family. I'm just trying." I mean, even Biggie said it. He's my favorite rapper ever. But I cringe when rappers say that because it's like, if that's the case, become a doctor, bro. Become a lawyer. Like, there's other things you can do which can get you paid and be more last longer. Hey, become a DJ for that sake. Like, you can DJ until you 50, A to the L. So, real talk. Like, you can do that, forever and still make a considerable amount of money and make money quickly versus being a rapper. So, I don't understand this idea of thinking that you rapping to be rich or get paid, because it's not really a good lane to get into to really get paid. I mean, if you hit, you can hit, but to me, say it'd be more importantly to do it for the art. And I think Master P hurt that ideal of doing it for the art and put in the forefront trying to get money. So you guys can crucify me in the comments, but it's not going to happen because you're scared. If you're scared, know you're scared. Speaking of fear, I'm going to play this next joint, and I'm going to come back and talk about some more hip-hop stuff. So what we got? We got my man, Papa Zane, Papa Zaniel. You know what I'm saying? One of our guests a couple episodes ago. He just dropped a 3-piece EP. It's available now on SoundCloud. Just go to SoundCloud and search Papa Zaniel, P-A-P-A-Z-A-N-I-E-L. This is his track, Fear of Us. And then we're going to come back and run my mouth some more. This is the Enigma Sept Hour. You got time, baby.
This your boy Dermo, the Furious Word Player, and I'm over here with my brother Enigma September, holding it down for the people in radio land, all over cyberspace and all over the world. Yeah, I hope y'all got the time on the Enigma Sept Hour, you heard me?
Boom, 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 and we back. It's your boy Enigma September, and this is the Enigma Sept Hour. What you just heard was Fear of Us, with my man Papa Zaniel. Again, this is episode 103. And I don't know what we're gonna get into. No topics today, baby. I'm just running my mouth. That's it. Just running. I'm just running my mouth. Like I said, it's been a slow week, so I guess get into this other crazy thing. I really don't care about reality TV shows. I know I just gave y'all this whole rundown regarding making money in rap business culture, and coming out of these love and hip hop joints to me is again it's rap business culture. Is rap business. It's all about making money, and I think that's a detriment. And this situation is one of those situations where it comes to a head and really hurts the culture because the people involved are involved in the culture. The show Marriage Boot Camp. Like, granted, ain't gonna front. I used to watch the show a few years ago. Again, I'm not a big fan of reality TV shows or scripted reality, but I did used to watch the show a few times back in the day. But there was one clip today, this week that was dropped. Rapper Vado. Now, Vado used to be down with Cameron of Dipset, Like basically when like Dipset kind of broke off and Cameron like disappeared, I think for a minute, and then came back, and Vado was like his right hand man when he was doing this thing or whatever post Dipset, and then apparently Vado is dating or married or engaged to, I don't know, Tahiri, and Tahiri is a personality, if you will, radio personality, and also too, she's definitely no stranger to reality TV show. I think she really came across my radar when she was dating Joe Budden, in the late part of last decade. I can't even say last decade. What? Yeah, no, that wasn't even last decade. That was like 08, 08, 09. So a decade before then. Woo! We are here. But yeah, so apparently they was having some discussion on the show. Buddy got upset and stood up and grabbed at her neck. The Dr. Ish Major. Yeah. He's a relationship therapist, whatever. His name is Dr. Ish Major. I had to look that up. I literally did some research. Like, yo, who is this fool? Like, who? And that's Ish Major, which of course kind of translates to shit's major. Anyway, so the clip came out. A lot of people, of course, was hot. Of the portrayal of domestic violence. There was some talk of the fact that there were other men, including Corrupt of Dog Pound fame, that was in the building or in the facility, in the room. They were all in a room, and apparently none of the men, except for Dr. Ish Major, got up and pulled Vado off of Tahiri. And it was just shocking. Of course, there was some people, shouts out to my man Sam, that was like, yo, it's made for TV. Like, because my first reaction was, yo, is Buddy gonna get arrested? Were they gonna call the cops? Because clearly this is violence. I don't have any word if he was arrested, if there was any charges or whatever. There were some statements that was put out from Tahiri and Vado. Vado apparently wasn't apologetic at first, but then came back around, still victim blaming, but said that he was a sucker for doing what he was doing. I don't know. Especially there was other news, not even news, but reports of people still getting at Megan Thee Stallion regarding the incident, domestic violence incident with Tory Lanez, and even people making the assumption that Megan Thee Stallion is really a man. Like, y'all niggas really gonna use the same tactics that racists use against Michelle Obama to get at one of our queens, bro? And I know y'all may be like, yo, how you gonna call a chick that twerks and show all her stuff on Instagram a queen? But that's a black woman who lost her mother, who was intricate, instrumental, trying to find some kind of I word, was instrumental in her daughter's rise to fame. And she still represents empowerment to some degree of black women in this country, you know, even fighting against a label. But besides all of that, this little short ass leprechaun from Canada decides to pull a weapon on her. I don't care if she was whipping his ass. And decided to shoot her in the foot, and he's still running around like he's looking for a pot of gold. And y'all got the nerve to come at Megan and try to say that she's a man. And honestly, what if she was a dude? What the fuck does that mean? What does that change? Tory Lane's still a fucking sucker ass nigga for doing that shit. And you a sucker ass nigga for trying to come with an excuse the reason why he would do that. He did the shit. Ain't nobody denying that he did it. Now he just got to go through the courts. Let the courts decide what they're going to do with him. And then more likely he's going to get his ass deported. Like, how could, I don't, and this is why I ain't going to front. When it come down to, you know, the hashtag believe women, like, it's shit like this. It's the ideal of when there's a domestic violence incident, oh, she must have did something. Nah, bro. Like, why couldn't that man just handle his emotions or handle his feelings and just not have himself in a situation like that? You're a grown ass man, not a child. So no. And even I understand the ideal of things happening in the heat of the moment. Boom, boom, boom. I get that. But even if that's the case, I'm not gonna look at her and be like, yo, what you did? No. She's the victim. Like, what the man, y'all dumb. Man, y'all dumb. And if it's not about you, then I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about those that really fall into this just misogynistic, male chauvinistic ideal of life, bro. Like, get out of that. Just please stop. Now, I'm not saying that, women are human and therefore they can make mistakes and do shiesty things or whatever. So I'm not acting like every woman, every person is without blame. But when things are clear cut, like it's clear cut what Vado did. Like it's on tape. It's on tape. There ain't no excuse. And honestly, like if it was planned, if the producers planned it, if it was scripted, yo, get them out of here. Get the whole show out of here. Might watch that shit anyway. They probably did it for the ratings anyway. Get them out of here. Because we don't need those portrayals of that on TV. You know what I'm saying? I don't need any women in my life or any ladies in my life, in particular my daughter, having to deal with the repercussions of a motherfucker just trying to get some entertainment value by displaying this. No. We know it happens. Real life clearly showed us it happened just a few weeks ago. You don't have to portray that for some fucking ratings. And if it wasn't for ratings, then get Vado the fuck out of here, arrest his ass, and throw his ass in jail. Point blank, period. And granted, like I said, I understand people make mistakes, but there's consequences, bro. There's consequences. Get him the fuck out of here. So if it's staged, fuck the whole show, producers, all of that, boycott the show, we ain't fucking with it. But if it wasn't, get Vado the fuck out of here. And, yo, you want to throw a black man in jail? Yes. If you are going to attack a woman who's defenseless, fuck out of here. No, bro. Ain't no excuses. None at all. Y'all tripping. We're going to the next song, and then we're gonna wrap this thing on up. Ain't really much to discuss on that, man. Y'all tripping. I decided to go old school with the tracks. For the for this part of the podcast, actually dug back. I was looking for some songs to play, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to dig into the old Enigma Sept hour bag, see what old songs I got from like 2012, 2013, see what's good. So I got my man, the Mad Violinist. Yeah, the Mad Violinist, I think Symphony Crack also with Battlefield. And then I got Laws. Shouts out to Laws, man. Laws was my Logic. Like Laws should be what Logic is right now, for real. Man, Laws featuring Mason Caine with Odin. And we're gonna be right back, man. This is the Enigma Sept hour. You got time, baby. Boom, 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 and we back. It's your boy Enigma September. This is the Enigma Sept hour. What you just heard was the Mad Violinist with Battlefield and Laws, and featuring Mason Caine with Odin. Before I wrap this thing on up, big up to my doggy, my little doggy, uh, Kobe. Man's been mad quiet, man. Of course, Fee's here, and she's been keeping him on the low. But man, he hasn't been quiet. I feel kind of bad now. I made a TikTok about Kobe, and he proved me wrong this episode. We're gonna see. Maybe he'll cut up in the end. So we're gonna see. I am black. I am black. A nigga. Yo, speaking of, we have to get on some. Speaking of racism, we have to talk about it. Put somebody on blast. And no, if you watch it, you probably not. I'm not gonna put you on blast, Playboy. But just know, if you are watching just to see, nah. Not gonna put you on blast. But yeah, man, y'all gotta be careful, man. You gotta be careful. I think, and honestly, speaking of this person, I guess white allies. Let me speak to y'all real quick. Be mindful about trying to be too open-minded. I know that sounds crazy. Like, how can you be too open-minded? Sometimes it comes down to the sphere of, I guess I don't want to say politics, but maybe even political thinking or the sphere of just critical thinking. Sometimes, or just sphere of certain schisms and where you fit on a spectrum of thinking. Sometimes it comes full circle. So you can get so far to one side that you end up looping back around to the other side. Sometimes you can go so far left that you end up going right. Sometimes you can go so far right that you end up on the left. And I'm starting to see a lot of crossover, a lot of people trying to defend one end, thinking that they come in, they're on the right side of history and then turn back being on the wrong side of history. You got to be mindful. In this situation, there's a dude, producer, I'm sorry, scratch that, JW Lucas, white guy. Unfortunately, that has to be said. He's a white guy. He produced one of two of the biggest songs out right now, The Woo by the late, well, I got Papa Zaniel name in my head. Golly. Never that. That's my bro. I wouldn't want that. I just, Papa Zaniel just popped in my head. Maybe because Papa Zaniel and Pop Smoke. That's probably why. But he produced The Woo by Pop Smoke and What's Poppin'. I can't think of that artist's name. I know there's a white boy too. I know there's a white boy that does the song What's Poppin'. And I like both songs. But Buddy had the nerve to get on Twitter earlier this week and decided to open his mouth about Breonna Taylor. And YouTube land, I'm showing an article from the Atlanta Black Star. It says J.W. Lucas, a white hip hop producer who's worked with rappers like DaBaby and Lil Uzi Vert, caught some fierce blowback after he said on Twitter this week that people shouldn't be rallying for Breonna Taylor, a 26-year-old black woman who's gunned down on March 13th in Louisville, Kentucky, by police who broke down her door during a botched drug raid. Not even just a botched drug raid, a no-knock raid. And quoting the article, now I saw this in real time on Twitter. He said, "Why is the world asking for justice for Breonna Taylor? Of course, she shouldn't have lost her life, but do you realize that she was involved with multiple drug dealers who were using her house as a trap spot? If you sign up for that life, there are consequences. He continued to say, it is terrible. Brianna lost her life. And as I said earlier, I believe the cops may have mishandled the raid and been too aggressive after being fired on. With that being said, what is the punishment the world is calling for? Those men were on their job and have families as well. So clearly, he decided to go the Blue Lives Matter route, and try to indicate that these police officers have families and friends, and why the caller for their arrest? Why should that happen? Bro, it's because it was racist. That's why. It's racist in that they even went to that house, that they even had that set up. The idea of using a no-knock, having a no-knock entry or raid. And then also, too, the idea that this black man fired on intruders, or who he assumed to be intruders to his house. And then out when they all went down, they arrested him for attempted murder of a police officer, even though they knew what had happened. And the police union in Louisville berated him, saying that, he shot an officer and he should be locked up just as much as we're calling for the lockup of those cops. Even though they knew what the story was. But it was because a black man had a gun that, all of a sudden he was guilty or something. And it took people to really call him out to say, no, sir. He had a gun. I mean, this, like, literally, this is what the Second Amendment is for. Law enforcement illegally enter into his home. That's exactly what the Second Amendment is made for. So when that happens, you can fire back. And that's why her boyfriend is not in jail right now. He's literally was his Second Amendment right. But the fact of the matter is, they already had the person they was looking for. There was no need to go in there. And so at the very least, it was negligent, if not purposeful. So that's why we're calling for the arrest of those police officers. Or at least they had them fired. They still in the force, bro. So I get the idea that, he was thinking that he was being open-minded. And I take that, and I look at some other tweets. He definitely got an ego. And then there was matter of fact, not even just another tweet. There was a video of him on like some kind of type of podcast. He was the only white person there, and he was basically going with the whole all lives matter mentality of, I'm white, I go through struggles too. And they was trying to tell him like, yeah, but you don't go through the same struggles we go through. You may go through struggles, but you still have essentially white privilege to help you through those struggles. You don't have the added pressure of being black in this country. And he was like, well, I don't see that. And I'm just like, bro, it's obvious. And what's disheartening is he making money off this culture without any understanding. Now, with the tweets he made about Breonna Taylor, he apologized. But it do look like, I want to say it was legitimate in that the tweets that he put out didn't come off as PR written. Like it came from him, but also like he was just trying to do cleanup. And it's like, no, get him out of here. Let him go make songs with Post Malone. They can be culture vultures together. Nah, we have to protect the culture. We have to protect the culture. You know what I'm saying? As much as earlier I mentioned that Master P hurt the culture and coming with the Ford model assembling line method of making albums, I would rather that than have this fool in the culture talking this shit and not understanding where we stand. You know what I mean? Like I'm not gonna knock Master P for making money, especially making money in a way that I'm pretty sure a good number of white people tried to circumvent. I do understand that part. So don't get it twisted. I'm not shitting on Master P and taking care of his family, building the foundation. I just wish he would have took care of the artistic side just as much as the business side. But on the flip side, when it comes down to this little white boy coming in here and acting like he doesn't have an understanding of why black people are protesting for Breonna Taylor and protesting for anybody black is being treated unjustly and losing their life unjustly due to the overzealous policies of law enforcement and government. Like, no, bruh. No. There was one dude, I don't know the dude's name. I know him and his dad like took over like a federal building in like Wyoming a few years ago. And I think some people I want to say, I may be wrong, I think people was riding with him till they realized they was saying some racist shit. But apparently this fool done came around and was like, yo, I'm down with Black Lives Matter and I'm down with defunding the police. Because libertarians on the conservative side, like, they believe the same crap. Like, yo, we don't want an overbearing government. We don't want a government that's controlling our lives. And to defund the police and defund the military for that, is to say that is the essence of the Second Amendment. The Second Amendment isn't really about toting guns, but more so keeping the government from just, keeping the government from being able to overpowering us. And oddly enough, we'll allow that to happen. Like, I don't see the fight for having on a rifle when they got drones and nuclear missiles. You couldn't fight the government if you wanted to. So what's the fight for a little PP gun? But regardless, yeah, man, J.W. Lucas, man, y'all gotta get him out of there. I hope that these younger artists understand that, being that the baby made his video and speaking up for the protesters with the remix of Rockstar and Lil Baby with the bigger picture. I hope they take those messaging that they put in those songs and not just have them there for show, and really take action. And one action they can take in particular is to get this motherfucker out of here. Like, fuck him. He don't belong in the culture. Yeah, that's just it. Like, get him out of here, because we fought too long for this culture to be ours. And honestly, it was funny, I guess, to tie in another piece of news. Actually, we're gonna get into it. I guess there was Snoop came out and said that Eminem is in his top 10. I ain't got no beef with that. I really don't. I had a little beef in, I guess, his claim that Dr. Dre made Eminem who he is, which is true, but it's also true for Snoop himself. But I digress. But the thing is, though, with is Eminem has always seemed to respect the culture and not to step over the BS they had, before he blew up. I am privy of that. I'm not dumb. I know he made them tapes where he's apparently said the word nigga and was talking about this black girl he was dating. He spoke about it on the Encore album. So, but since he's been in the game, he's shown that he respects the culture, not just hip hop culture, but respect, black culture. And either he knows when to shut the fuck up and he knows when to speak up. And when he speaks up, know what to speak about. He's been able to do that. Same thing with the Beastie Boys. There's been white artists in the game that understand, when to step up and when to shut the fuck up. But I know a lot of people feared Eminem would bring the onslaught of like white rappers. It didn't happen at the time, but now looking around, like, and not just any white rappers, don't get twisted. Of course, y'all know I got Chestah MC, that's my man. DJ HDL, that's my man. I'm not saying that white people shouldn't be allowed, but I'm starting to see a lot of white artists using hip hop or hip hop aesthetics and not really being down for the culture. For real, Post Malone. And not just him. You know, you saw the dude the other day on MTV. You know what I'm saying? Rippity rapping, he got the tattoos, whatever. Not a damn black person in sight in the video. You know, I'm just like, it sound hip hopish, but shit like a fucking Michael Bublé video as far as the number of black people in this bill. Like, what's good? So we gotta be mindful, man. We gotta be mindful to keep the culture intact. And the gatekeepers have to keep that intact as well. So, yeah, man. Anyway, on that note, again, feel free to visit me on all socials, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. I'm on Vine I'm not Vine. Might as well. I'm on TikTok as long as Trump don't sign that executive order. I'll be on TikTok, so you can find me there. If you don't find me on TikTok, you can find me on Byte. I do Byte, so I don't have the Byte out for about 4 months, and I probably have put up as many videos. So, maybe I should invest more videos in the Byte. Get this strike it while it's hot. TikTok about to be out of here. Anyway, also too, man, you know, so you want to hit the cash out, it would be appreciated. Again, if you do that, it's for, you know, trying to build up the podcast and make it bigger and better for you guys. Make the listening experience bigger and better. Again, shouts out to Freedom Train Radio. You can check out all the episodes over at freedomtrainradio.com. And yeah, so I'm not going to promise next week because we don't know what's going to happen. Tomorrow, who promise you tomorrow? But hopefully you guys will be back next week for episode 104. May have a special announcement. We'll have a special announcement regardless, but we're going to see. Anyway, I'm going to get y'all here. This is the Enigma Sept Hour. You got time, baby.